Well, hello there and welcome to another Wi-Fi Sheep Tech video. This time it's part 3 of the CUB monitor repair and rebuild. Those of you who've been following the channel or following this series will know the trouble we've been having with this monitor. It's a Microvitec or Microvitec, however you pronounce it, sorry. CUB 8-bit RGB monitor, metal chassis cathode ray tube monitor for a BBC Micro. Well, this one actually wasn't for a BBC Micro, which is half the problem. Now, as you know, we've got it up and running again. We're using the TTL digital logic analog input. However, it wasn't displaying red. So we took it apart, rewired part of it, changed a transistor out. I get a screwdriver in. There you go, change that transistor out, did all sorts of things, and it still wasn't working. Well, that was late 2016, and then we looked at it again, I think it's January, February this year, 2017, something like that. It's now April 2017, and we're back to look at it once again. So today we're going to replace the IC 101 decoder chip, which is that one there. We're going to desolder that. I have a replacement chip which we're going to put in place, and we're going to see if that fixes the problem. If it doesn't, I am generally out of ideas. So to save time, I have safely diffused the monitor using a screwdriver, crocodile clip, rubber gloves, and the monitor plugged onto the mains, but not powered up, so it's earthed. So we've been able to take the anode cap out. I've then removed the board. Here's the board, and we're going to take it over to my solder station and start desoldering. Okay, so we've got the board upside down over to the solder area. Because of all the components underneath, I've put it on some bubble wrap to try and protect everything. These lines here are the ones we're going to take out. Now, we're going to replace it first with, I'll show you this here, get that in focus, a chip holder. That's because at the moment the IC is soldered straight onto the board. However, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to easily slot the chips in and out where necessary. So if I take an IC out of an old piece of electronics and I'm going to replace it, I'll always put a chip holder in where I can in order to then clip the chip in or out. It also means I'm not putting heat or stress on the actual chip itself or the new one. Speaking of new one, no, that's not a rather suspicious looking foil cube. I know what you're thinking, but no, we're more innocent over here. Inside that, believe it or not, is the replacement TTL logic chip, which I got offline. So this was bought from local Maplins. Nearest one to me is Kidderminster. So it was cheaper to go into one of the hardware store. These things were a bit like Radio Shack in America. It was actually cheaper to buy that just in store than it was off the internet. However, these chips, which I'll get that out a bit later, are more specialist. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm now going to heat up the soldering iron, and we're going to start desoldering these lines of pins right here. Okay, with the soldering iron heating up, we're now going to have a go at desoldering this chip. Now, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. I use one of these manual pump type things. You can see that. We're just going to heat these up and see if we can get the chip out. It really is as simple as that. Nothing more you can really say. We'll give it a go, see what happens. This is going to take a little bit of time, I think. It's quite funny, I remember doing electronics at school. It wasn't very good, I have to admit. This was sort of secondary school. It would have been the mid to late 1990s. And one thing they said to us was that when electronics fail, you don't replace the single component, you replace the whole thing. You put the whole thing in the bin. Yeah, not really the attitude now, is it? So that was the 90s, and there was a different feeling about this sort of stuff, which was still running at the time, because we still had 8-bit machines. and monitors like this still in our school, believe it or not, right into the sort of turn of the century, into 2000. So they sort of wanted to get rid of this stuff. It was seen as junk, and if they could dispose of it, then they would do. Okay, we are very, very nearly out now. I've managed to sort of pull the chip out almost intact, which is great, from the other side. So it's just being held by a couple of pins this side that we're just going to see if we can just help it to work itself free. Okay, so it didn't take too long to get the old IC chip out. So now we're going to have a go at fitting this new chip holder into the place where that was. The best way to do that is just to see if it will actually go in the wrong way around. Once you know you've got clear holes to go through, you know you can just pop it around the other side and in you go. So there's just one pin here that's a little bit clogged. So we're just going to do a little bit of work. Other than that, everything else is clear. So okay, so there is now the chip holder in situ. So I'm now just going to turn the board over and I'm going to tack that straight in. I've got to make sure it's the right way around, so that I think that is correct. So it should be fine. Okay, so I've now just soldered in the new chip holder, not the new chip itself. Had to use quite a lot of flux, so I am now just taking a moment, a bit of paper towel just to clean up the area. Check I'm happy with everything. It's not perfect by any such imagination, but as long as it's all pretty much in and making good contact, it'll do for now. Also very important to make sure that no pads actually bridged each other, because that would be very bad. Okay, so there is the new chip holder, pretty much in place. That looks alright. So now we'll fit the new chip. What I might just do is, just for static protection, I'm going to go over to a radiator over here. I'm just going to touch the metal part. And that's, of course, central heating is earthed, and that takes any static that I might have on me that could damage the chip. Just an extra bit of precaution. So move it into frame. There it is. That's the new chip. And we'll just check it against the old chip. Yep, same serial. So it's a like-for-like replacement, which is fantastic. And we now have to just make sure we do get this in the right way around. Oh well. There we go, simple as that. New chip has been fitted. So now we will refit the board back into the monitor, power up, and see if it's made any difference at all. Okay, so the board is now back in the monitor. I've reconnected the monitor all up. Got the Acorn Electron back out again. It's connected via TTL. So this is now the first time we'll power back up the monitor and see if it doesn't catch fire or anything. It's either going to work or we'll have completely broken it, one of the two. Right, moment of truth. Have we killed it? It's alive. I don't want to get too excited, but that looks quite white on the screen. Into mode 2. Moment of truth then, colour 1. Oh my goodness me. got red on the screen. That's never happened before. Try colour. Oops. Colour 2. Green, yes. 3. Yellow. And back to white again. There we go. Oh my goodness me, that's actually worked. A couple of adjustments I probably need to make. Just balance out the picture a little bit, but overall that's not looking too bad. Which one is it? Something like that. Isn't too bad. Just break. It's not too bad at all. Yeah, there we go then. I think that's about right. Marvellous. Well, thank you everybody for the suggestions for this. It's your help has been greatly received. I think the saga's over. It works. Brilliant. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching this video. Bye for now.